call now on Deputy Owen Murphy, and I see that Deputy Griffin also wants to share some time. Have you indicative time?
Perhaps 5 minutes, Chair, but no more.
Okay, well, I'll let you know when 5 minutes are up and you can continue. We're a little bit flexible this morning.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to welcome the opportunity to speak on this bill and to commend Deputy Murphy for bringing it to the House. The opportunity to bring your own piece of legislation as a backbench TD or somebody who's not in the government parties, it's a big thing, and I think it should be recognised, and it's a great opportunity. And when I had the opportunity to do it myself before Christmas, I found it very exciting as well. And for all those who criticise the Friday sitting, I think they should recognise that it is an ability and an opportunity for people to bring their own pieces of legislation, to have them properly debated, to have spokespeople from all of the parties, and to have the Minister in attendance, and to actually get some proper work done. And I'd like to see more of it. And in that regard, I think we should increase the number of bills that are taken on a Friday, and if we can, increase the number of Friday sittings, because I think it is positive for the work that we do here in this House. Just sticking for a moment on the Friday sittings, if I may, there's a practice here on Fridays that I think is quite welcome, that I would like to see moved into the other business of the week, which is whereby if a deputy wants to speak on a debate or on a bill, they have to come in and have to wait to be called based on the order of attendance in terms of when they came into the chamber. In the normal business, we apply for a speaking slot maybe 2 days in advance, we get it, we come in, we speak, and we leave. And I don't think that's constructive to positive debate, to actually listening to each other. It's no good to walk in here, give a speech, and leave. That doesn't serve anyone, I think, rather than just putting something on the record.
Murphy, they're interesting comments, but you have to stick to the content.
Thank you, Chair. I'll move that now. In relation to the subject at hand, it is a huge area, and I think from the debate that we've had today, we've seen just how it touches every aspect of what we do in our lives and the role that government has. And I think it's important that we do work together with other countries and international organisations, but I don't think we should set our pace for change by their watch, because it can be a slow one. For anyone who's had to work with an international organisation, moving at the pace of 27 countries, 180 countries can be slow. And if we think that we can move quicker and forge a better path, then we should do so. Cognizant of what is happening abroad, what other countries are trying to achieve because we're working with them, but why not be ambitious ourselves and really go for it? We have to be smarter about energy in this country, what we use and how we use it. Fighting to protect the environment, to improve it and to make our presence in it more sustainable has value, and it is an end in itself, of course it is, but it's also fundamental to so many other aspects of our lives. To reducing waste, reducing costs, becoming more efficient, improving our health and happiness, achieving food security and water security, which is crucial and will become more important in the coming decades. Increasing the investment in our economy here in Ireland and job creation, it is relevant. If Dublin is to be a great capital, for example, it has to be a green capital. We need to recognise that. So we should be pursuing this agenda for selfish reasons, as well as the greater good. I have some limited previous experience myself in this area, having worked for the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty organisation in Vienna. And there we were trying to end nuclear weapon testing with a view to improving security in the world, greater security, by abolishing nuclear weapons. But we also recognised the great poison that nuclear weapon tests were to the world. And over the past 70 years and the hundreds of tests, we have released this great poison into the atmosphere that has done incredible damage to people and to local environments and to the ecosystem. And unfortunately, countries like North Korea today continue to poison us still. But in the research and development aspect of the system that we built to monitor nuclear weapon testing, to monitor when tests were occurring, there was an unintended consequence, which was a global monitoring system for the health of the environment, for the health of the Earth. We didn't know that this was going to come about, but it did with the work that we did. And now we use it to that benefit, for tsunami warning, to looking at how local ecosystems and regional areas, how their environmental patterns are changing. And that's a great benefit. And research and development in that regard is important. I think the continued investment of public money in science, research and development is essential. And on that point, and while the Minister is here, I think we must ensure that bodies such as the Dublin Institute for Advanced Studies receive the appropriate and necessary funding. The work that they do in this area, particularly in relation to area, is essential to everything that we're talking about here. They need funding to continue to do it, to continue to advance our understanding and the technologies and the mitigation measures that we may have, and the ways that we can improve our use of energy. Coming to the bill itself now, there are some very good ideas in this bill, and I do very much like it. I hope we can take some elements of it forward. Setting up national targets to reduce energy demand, I think, is a very good idea. Targets for reducing non-renewable energy. A national action plan, of course. And I note in the bill that it's for 5 years, but what I would, if I was making an amendment, I would probably say 10 years, with medium-term plans every 3 years, and key performance indicators being reviewed on an annual basis. To be perhaps more ambitious and to set it on a longer time frame, because these issues do require time, and we are talking about change over long periods. Presentation of an annual transition statement to the Dáil, I think, is a good idea. And I think an independent commission producing independent reports is important, and it's important for its integrity that it does have that independence so that we can have faith and trust in its advice, and that it can challenge the government, because challenging the government on these issues can be a good thing. The government does not have a monopoly on all of the information and all of the advice. And just before I conclude, Chair, many in here during the debate that I've had the opportunity to listen to this morning have mentioned incidents in their own constituencies which are evidence of climate change. And indeed, in my own, as Deputy Humphreys alluded to, we have had severe flooding in Dublin and in Dublin South East, and it has seriously and sadly affected many people. Extreme weather happens. It's not new to the 21st century, and it's not necessarily de facto because of what we did in the 20th century. But whatever the cause of these events, we must recognize our own role in these events and these disasters, how bad development, overdevelopment, or the wrong development can drastically affect the impact of these events. This was certainly the case in Dublin in recent years. But have we learnt the lesson? I don't think we have. In conclusion, I'd like to commend Minister Hogan's huge amount of work to date in this area, an area he's fully committed to. It's something that we have discussed in detail on many occasions, and I support his approach on the macro level, absolutely. While he is in the chamber, it would be remiss of me not to mention the Poolbeg incinerator as a local issue, of course, but it is important for the Dublin region. I do think it is the wrong plant, the wrong size, and the wrong area. I'd also caution against the extension of the Ringwood's End wastewater treatment plant. I don't mean to be local about this, but it's not often that we have the chance to address these issues in the chamber. But I do fully support the Minister's approach and what he's trying to do in his framework and his plan, and I look forward to the bill coming to the Dáil and to contributing in that debate and to bringing some of the ideas that we've all heard here this morning to that debate at that time. Thank you, Chair.